live, and here we are. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good day, good afternoon to everybody out there. What is happening today? We're going to talk about performance. We're going to talk about becoming that next version of yourself. I'm going to be asking you some really interesting questions. So, hopefully, you have an interesting pen and a nice piece of paper to take some notes because I'm about to share with you some things that I probably have not shared with anybody to this effect. So uh, trust you know me, and if you don't, my name is Kamal. I'm a high performance coach for leaders and executives, and today's talk is about the next level success for yourself. See, you're here and you want to go there, and we're going to close the gap. We've talked about purpose, vision, and goals, and so there's many discussions about that. But today I'm going to talk about how we really close the gap. How can you go from here to there very quick? What does it take to shorten the gestation period? What's this mindset business about? Your mind is already set anyways, so who actually talks about mindset? So I'm going to be sharing with you some things that I probably have not shared with anybody before online like this. So welcome, and thank you for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for the follow. If you can just do me a favor, just some technicality here. uh Share the live, share the stream, put your comments, and I will attempt to see him. And I see Leslie here saying good morning. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you share the stream on your feed, it's going to help many other people. I'm sharing it on 5 of mine that I have access to, and if you do it 1 or 2 on yours, that's going to help that much more people. So if you don't know me, my name is Kamal. I'm a Think and Gor Rich expert, and so is Leslie, by the way, who's listening. So now I have to be at my best behavior, right, Leslie? And I help you connect the dots. Like Steve Jobs said, we cannot connect the dots forward, so we can only do it backwards. So how do we shorten this gestation period? How do you become performing at this higher best? And what does it take? And what's this mindset business all about? But if I take you one step before that, why do you even want that? Like, what is happening that you might be thinking, I really need to get myself a coach. I really need to get better. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And like I said, with your favorite pen, I have mine here, and it's really my favorite pen. This pen came to me from my dad, rest in peace, dad. And when I met my mentor said, Kamal, you need to have a decent pen, and you gotta have a decent notebook where you can really track your stuff, right? And I was like, wow, okay. So then now every time I write something, I use my favorite pen and I put it in my journal. So I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of questions that you will probably going to say, man, where have I been? What do I need to do to start living like this, right? So, what, for example, what is one thing that keeps happening in your life and it's a problem that you can't get rid of? It's like you try, and it just doesn't go away. But that you see others in the industry, in your field, the same education as you, maybe even less than you, maybe even they're not as good as you, and they're doing better. And so, what is that one thing that you've always wanted to improve, but you can't? And it could be your financial situation. It could be your job promotion. It could be the way you feel about every day, right? So that's one question that I want you to write down. The second thing is, and I want you to be honest with this. You don't have to share it with me online here. You can if you want to. How much has your income increased over the past 5 years? And I want you to answer quick. Like, you have to learn to answer quick. Executives, professionals who want to perform at peak, you make decisions fast and you answer quick. You don't need to go, oh, it could be the no. You know roughly how much you made last year. I know you haven't done your taxes yet, probably because I haven't. That's how I know. I'm just about to do. But you know roughly how much you made. Okay, how much is that compared to the year before? How much is that compared to the year before? Is it moving at 10, 20, 30, 40%? Or is it just doing that 1, 2% inflation thing? I want you to ask yourself that question. What's it going to take? You're probably 30, 40, 50, 70 years old. What's it going to take? Tell you another story that I'm working on and helping some retirees really figure out their thing. 55% of retirees are broke. So think about it. How many years do you have left? 5, 10, 15, 20 to work? Do you want to end up broke? Now, we figured this out back in the 50s and 60s with Earl Nightingale, and my elite clients, we come and study the lead the field from Earl. He said 55% of retirees are broke, and it's still the case. Only 5% make it to this financial side of things. Now, financial could be money, but could also be health, could also be wealth. So what is the difference? How come some people stay at peak till the last few months of their life and then boom, they go because everybody has a time? But so many, 95% don't. And that's what incites me about this conversation. That's what excites me about sharing with you today. Couple things that perhaps that will move the needle. But it's not going to move the needle unless you drop the guard, unless you're willing to be open-minded. If you're going to be like fully guarded and you're going to say this stuff is woohoo and it doesn't really work, good for you, man. I hope your way works. I know I've tried that for a long time, and it took me a long time to get to this side of it. And I got to tell you, it's been an amazing 4 or 5 years studying this material, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So, so I want you to know that there is a better way, and I'm sharing with you the better way. The key is, are you willing to let it in? Are you willing to let yourself in on an idea that's much bigger than your current situation? Are you willing to let yourself in on the idea? All right. So I'm going to tell you though, so you are all very special. Every one of you is very, very special. Everyone. Thank you, Leslie, for that note. I'm going to put it up on the screen. That's cool. It's not the money for me anymore, other than as a tool. Yeah, money is just a tool. But every one of you is special, right? You all have this power. You all have this mind. You all have this ability to do more, be more, and create more. Except we don't. And that's the thing. 55% retirees are broke. 60% of the workers out there don't want to be at work anymore. They're frustrated, they have disconnected, and they are just not performing at their best. You'll find two people in the same office. She's doing amazing, $1 million sales, and he's doing a couple $100,000. Same industry, same material, same education. She's excelling at it, and he's not. What's the difference? See, we all have this power, but how do you tap in? And that's what high performance coaching is all about. That's what I'm talking about today. So if you want to learn, tune in, get this pen, get a piece of paper. I'm about to share with you a couple more things that are going to inspire you to actually take action, because I don't want you to just collect some more information. I want you to take action on this information. I want you to know that there is a better way. Like what it is that you're missing now is probably just some information, like some way to visualize a better version of you. Have you ever had a time? Have you ever took time to visualize what could be you in a better way? What would your life be like if you're at 10% better a month? Yes, a month, not a decade. What inspires you deeply? That's a beautiful question. What inspires you deeply? I love that, right? What would your life be when you get inspired to that? See, I think there's two kind of states of living. There's the inspired life, and then there's the not inspired life. Which side are you? So the inspired life, you're in the spirit of your business. You're in the spirit of what you do. You're in love with it. And when you fall in love with what you do, you never work another day in your life. Now, when you're not inspired, you're more negative, you're more lack, you're more not having, and it keeps happening the same again and again and again. It's the cycle of chasing the bills, the cycle of not paying the bills, the cycle of being broke, the cycle of losing jobs, the cycle of losing friends, the cycle of getting sick. So I want to move you to a high performance life where you are inspired to your greatness. I was with my dear friend Les Brown not long ago, and he said, "Kamal, you're doing really well. Do you know why?" I said, "Well, no, I just work at it, and I just think. I take time. I get mentored." He goes, "Yeah, but do you really know why?" Les Brown, and he's really famous about, you got to be hungry. He said, "Well, okay, yeah, you got to be hungry. So you got to have that. And if you don't, we got to talk." But he said, because you were willing to bet on yourself. You were willing to bet on yourself, and you made a decision to live this next version of yourself. But you have to allow your imagination to dream. I'm working with somebody now that he is not allowing the image to open up. For years, he hasn't been dreaming about bigger version. He's doing well. He's already multiple six figures, but he wants to do more, but he cannot allow this greatness, right? So I want to share with you today how you can really open up and allow yourself something much bigger at you by just sharing with you a couple stories, some examples how I did it, because I could only share with you what I did. And then it's up to you to do the work. You see, it's one of those things where you want to have this inspired life and you got to do it by yourself and you can't do it alone. So take some notes. So think of it this way. Your mind is already plugged up. I hope I can bring a picture up here. I have a picture here. Maybe I can bring it up. Yeah, I guess I can. I can bring this up. Let me share the screen. Share the screen. Let's see if it comes up. Okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Here we go. I'm using Restream, so sharing is kind of interesting here. But I believe you can see it. Yeah. Okay. You can see it. So don't worry too much about this thing. But what we have is that your mind is clogged up with a whole lot of information, like a lot of it. Like I really mean a lot of it. We already know a lot more than what we do, but yet our results don't change. You see, I have a reason I wasn't really where I wanted to be. So school gives us all this information. Libraries are full of it. We have this amazing knowledge, but we yet still don't know how to earn real money. And our results suck. And look at what Leslie just shared in the chat. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. See, the results Leslie's sharing is that results match what we believe our ability and deserve. That's so cool. Because you go to school, you get a degree, you get a job, you start paying tax, and you have all this information, and then you just don't get what you want. You don't feel that satisfaction. You don't have that inspired life. So what does it cause? Confusion, frustration, misbehavior. You start addicting on YouTube and Netflix, and maybe even gambling, maybe even some drinking, maybe even some smoking stuff, and you're numbing yourself out from your greatness, and you're going to living a non-inspired life. I want to teach you how to have a high performance life, how to have an inspired life. Now, you want better results. Look at this diagram, right? This is a picture of the mind. I'm not going to get too much into it today. This is like the big circle of the mind, and there's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. So the top part where the books are, that's your intellectual mind. Just stay with me there. That's where the books are. That's where your degrees. That's where when you get information. Well, we all have information. I had 5 degrees before I figured out what the heck to do. And it wasn't even the degrees. It was the mentorship that caused me to live an inspired life. It wasn't the degrees, but I was going from one degree to another, from a bachelor's to a master's to a PhD to an MBA to a certificate to all kind of things. But my results were not changing. I wanted to change my results. And let's look at what Leslie just shared with you right here. Results match what we believe about our ability and deserve. So you have to believe it first, right? You have to really get into the game of it. So think of it as you have to believe it, and you have to kind of inject it into the subconscious mind. You have to build this new paradigm of you, this new idea of you, and you're going to dislodge the old one out. So imagine you have a cup of water, right? You have a cup of water. I actually have a cup of water here. And you put a rock in it. You put a new idea. The new idea comes in, and that's in your mind. It dislodges just amount of an old idea. You need a new idea. But how do you get this idea in? How do you get yourself to believe in your better self? How do you get yourself to believe that you can actually double your income? See, I didn't believe I could do that until I started to get some real mentorship from a great man, the late Bob Proctor. Rest in peace, Bob. He just passed away just a little over 2 years ago. And he said, Kamal, write your goal on a goal card and put it in your pocket. And this is one of them. This is one of the main one that has 4 goals on it. I'm working on my 4th. And I've had a lot of goal cards. I had a lot of goal cards. And I was studying the material. I was doing the material. I was thinking about the material. But it wasn't really, it wasn't going as fast as I wanted. Why? Because my belief level was not there. I was resisting it. So I had to persist. I had to keep doing the work. I had to keep following direction. I had to keep working the magic that he was teaching me. And he said, Kamal, just believe. Kamal, now, how do you believe? How do you improve your belief? How do you think you can improve your belief? Well, I'm going to teach you how to improve your belief. How do you think you learned how to ride the bicycle? How do you think you learned how to speak? How do you think you learned how to talk? How do you think you learned how to write? Right? There's one thing that I learned from Bob. It's called repetition. So we built our belief by repeating. So the first time I had this big goal and I wrote it on this goal card, I didn't believe it. Now I want it. I wanted it to happen. I want to have a high performance life and more, inspired life, but it wasn't happening. Why? Because I wasn't believing it. But I had to keep writing it. I had to keep thinking about it. So to build that belief, you need that power of repetition. That's one of the ways. Repetition over and 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 over again. And I'm gonna tell you, the first time it happened, when in 1 month I made almost all what I did in the previous 6 months. That's when my belief just went up. But that's what almost faking it, because I had to wait until my results to really expand my belief status. So I went back and said, Bob, what's really going on? He goes, Kamal, it's taken you that long because your belief did not get there faster. You have to believe it faster. You have to put down the guard. You have to drop the arm. You have to just allow yourself the new thing that you want. You have to allow the receiving. You have to allow the gift that you have to happen. If you think that you want it, if you desire it bad enough, it has to happen. And then he started teaching me about the laws. But that first one, when in that 1 month I made almost more than what I made in the previous 5, and it was actually on my goal card, that's when my belief took a jump. And I was like, wow. I'm going to put that on the screen. Repeat in spaced repetitive intervals over time. That is right. So that was the first goal. And then I was like, wow, okay. I'm like 6 months into the mentorship with Bob. Then came a month, sometime last year, where I was like, seeing how many more clients I can serve, seeing how many more companies I can help, seeing how many more things I can do, living that inspired life, feeling what would be like to have a couple more investment, what it could be like to have few more coaching sessions, what it could be like to have few more speaking gigs. And I was working the magic. That was October. Didn't happen. All month long. November came, Bob said, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, over and over and over. You got to hold the image. He said, you got to hold the image. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you don't feel good about it. It doesn't matter if you don't trust it. It doesn't matter if you think it's not right. It doesn't matter if your old paradigm says, nope, you're not good enough. Let go of that idea. Hold the image, he said. Hold the image. Why do you think Bob Proctor is known as the king of the law of attraction? Now, I'm grateful that I studied with him, because I have that feel, I have that vibration of what he was thinking. Because I'm going to tell you why. You better write this one down. It's another good idea. Because he was able to hold these big, amazing images in his mind. See, we think in images. And the bigger the image that you can hold of what you want, the more likely that image is going to transpose into the subconscious, which has got 98% over your results. See, your current results are because of your thinking, your uninspired life, or non-inspired life, the lack, the poor, the story, the poor me thing, right? Imagine if this big image that you could hold. It doesn't matter doesn't matter if you're a mom, if you're a dad, and if you're doing diapers. Think of what you want all the time, not just in the morning and at night. Think about it all the time. What would it be like to have that money? What would it be like to have that promotion? What would it be like to have that many cars, that many garages, that many apartments, that many people you're helping? Whatever is the thing you want, think about it, think about it, think about it. But don't keep changing what you're thinking about. You need an image. You need an image. Now, why do we need an image? Because if I tell you a pen, this is a pen. If I tell you glasses, these are glasses. But if I tell you mind, what the hell is mind? See, nobody knows what mind is. Nobody knows what mind is. Now, I've been studying the mind. And I've been learning a whole lot about the mind. A whole lot about the mind. And I want to teach you some of that. And if you want a high performance life, if you really want a life of freedom, if you really want reach that next level very fast before you age and before you become part of that 55% of the population that is broke and that is doesn't have, and that's depending on the social welfare system, you better start listening. Because it's a shame that in the richest country in the world, we have 55% of retirees broke. It's a shame that in the richest country in the world, we have veterans, we have people on the streets, and we can't even afford to put them in places. How is that even possible? You think they're not smart? Do you think they're not degreed? Do you think they want? They're just not inspired. They just don't know this material. Nobody taught them. They're programmed with something that they don't know any otherwise. That's why you keep getting the same results. So where do you want to be? Where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be 10 years from now, 5 years from now? Look at this graph. Look at what I'm sharing with you here. I used this not long ago with what we call the 100 millionaire table, where there's that many people that are multimillionaires, and we're talking about next level success. We're talking about masterminding with what I call my favorite book here. Thank you, Leslie. The Think and Grow Rich, right? That's what that is the business mastermind that we discuss every Saturday. But this was in a meeting that I shared the slide, so I'm bringing it up for you, right? So you're getting the same information that people paid $35,000 to be in the room. So if you're out there listening, and I need you to start paying attention, because people pay a lot of money to hear this. I paid a lot of money to learn this. The degrees, the school did not teach me this. So where do you want to be? Why are you not there? See, two things you have to know to build your business. Two things you have to know to start having a high-performance life. You want to know where you are, and you want to know where you're going. And the more I study and Think and Grow Rich, the more I study the laws of success, the more this becomes clear. The more it becomes clear why people are stuck, why so many just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to read a book so many times. It doesn't make sense to repeat the same chapter again and again and again. It doesn't make sense to hold this image in your mind and keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. Doesn't matter if you're changing diapers. Doesn't matter if you're changing the dishes. Doesn't matter if you're taking the garbage out. Keep thinking about what you want. There's this one lady that we've been working with. It's about 14 months ago. She was making under $10,000 a month. She was frustrated. She used to get upset. Then used to come to class. She's like, this does not even make sense. I'm like, just do it anyways. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense to think of some things like this. It's not going to make sense to think of conscious mind, subconscious mind. What the heck is this about? I'm like, it doesn't need to make sense to you. Just do what I'm telling you to do. Just follow directions. Because if you don't follow directions, guess what? You're going to stay where you're at. Your results will stay the same. So if you're happy with where you are, good for you. I'm proud of you. Keep doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. More money, more things doesn't make us better. But I want you to live a high-performance life. I want you to live an inspired life. I want you to get promoted. I want you to build your business. I want you to feel good. I want you to lead your team. I want you to get to that next level fast. Because, we're not promised tomorrow. Now, I cannot say too much about this young lady because it's a super private client, but she went from not doing to doing. She went from not earning and selling more than 1 unit a month to selling 2 or 3, sometimes 4 units a week. She went from $10,000 a month to over $100,000 a month. And that is crazy. And it keeps getting better because there is no limit. There's no limit other than the limit that you put on yourself. And it's the same material that I'm sharing with you. You just have to keep understanding it. You got to keep digging into it. You got to understand it. You got to allow yourself the belief. You got to grow the belief. You got to know what this mind that we're talking about. Because like I said, if I tell you a pen, this is a pen. But if I tell you this is the mind, this circle is the mind. See the circle on the left says mind. That's the mind. Truman Fleet came up with this back in 1934. Nobody understands the mind. People were talking about hypermind, superconscious mind. Who cares? But he said, look, let's just make it simple. Let's just divide it into a couple things here. A conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And you saw simplicity makes a difference, right? All geniuses, they like simplicity. Elon Musk goes back to fundamentals, goes back to the basics. First principle. In this picture, even though it looks silly, but that's the stickman figure. Thank you, Leslie, for pointing that out as well. Leslie is amazing, by the way. Make sure you connect with Leslie. She is a Think and Grow Rich expert. She's been doing it much longer than me. And she is... I don't know if she's world renowned. Definitely she's known on LinkedIn. So But we are going to do some sessions together on Fridays on Think and Grow Rich. So look at this picture. You get the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. But what's below the subconscious mind? I want you to pay attention. What is below the subconscious mind is the body. So what's connected to the subconscious mind? If you haven't seen this before, and if you've seen it, pay very good attention right now. You see, the body is connected to the subconscious mind because that's who's controlling the body. The conscious, the thinking mind, where the thinking mind, where you have all this information, all these books, all this knowledge, all these degrees, don't mean a hoot. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how many books you read. It doesn't matter how many seminars you go to. If you don't change your paradigm, and your paradigm is in your conscious mind, your results are not going to change. You can go ahead and keep going to seminars, keep going to getting the books, keep going to the gym. You're not going to change. Your weight is going to come back to where you're at unless you change your programming. I got to tell you, once you understand this, once you actually put your goal on a goal card and say, this is what I want, and you go actually doing it and it eventually happens, that's when you build your belief. Because we're physical, right? We're human. We're a spirit, having this physical human experience. And we need this, we don't believe it until we touch it, but that's almost too late. That's not belief, actually, right? You have to believe it before you see it. If you can't believe it until you see it, it's not belief, So, but that's just the way it is. You have to overcome this little difficulty. I had to overcome this difficulty. So I go back to that story back in November. I said, you know what? I want to work it. I want to do it. So that was my second goal. Yeah, the dog likes the energy. That's right. Teddy was saying hello. Teddy was saying hello. She is incredible. I would have put her in the cage, but she's sitting on the couch there. So thank you. Yeah, her name is Teddy. She's phenomenal. So I started working the goal. I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is my second goal. Big goal. Like I'm talking like, very close to $100,000 a month goal. I got to do it. And I got to do it. I've never heard that in a month. And I'm just saying this just to impress you. This is just to impress upon you that the laws work. And I had to make the laws work for me so I can teach you, so I can share with you. Then in 1 month, that November, I talked to 23 people in 2 meetings. I had, I think, 13 one-to-ones with these 23 people. A few of them did not show up. They say they did. They didn't show up. And the paradigm took care of that. That's why they didn't show up. And out of the 23 people, the 13 people that I met, 5 people signed up. 2 of them are big companies. 3 are private clients. And from that, I was like, wow, this stuff works. Put it on a piece of paper. Write down your goal on a card. Think about it. Talk about it. Act on it. Behave like it. Start acting like it. Do the work. And it showed up. That took my belief a whole other level. I was like, wow. Okay. If I can do the first goal, if I can do the second goal, what can I do next? And that's what I mean by this picture. Like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? How far are you willing to let go? Like, there is no limit. It's all about the limit that we put on ourselves and how much action are we willing to take? How much are you willing to, you have to pay the price. Because the results don't just happen. And this is what I said earlier in the promotion material of this purpose, vision, and goal. I said, do results just happen? What do you think results come from? What you're sitting on the keys to the kingdom in lessons 2, 3, and 4 in thinking into results. And I want you basically to get this book if you haven't gotten it. This is my notes. This is what I studied, right? In lessons 2, 3, and 4, and 5, I talk about what it takes. I give you the keys to the kingdom. Give you the keys to what Bob shared with me. So go ahead and grab that book and read it. Read it day and night. How many times? As many times as it takes until the results show up. I don't know what's your number. I have a very big number because I got to help a lot of people. But where do results come from? Where do results come from? Write that question down. Where do my results come from? because this information has the power to change. If you want to change your results, where these that are coming to you right now, the physical thing, what do you need to change? What are you missing that your results are moving fast enough? I would say it's guidance. I would say it's ignorance. We just don't know enough. We need more knowledge, and that's why the system is based on we need to study, systematic study, elite level mentorship, and some accountability. Solomon in the Old Testament said, "In everything you do, get knowledge, and get knowledge." How do you get knowledge? In Think and Grow Rich, he always says, repetition, repetition, repetition. Read the book, read the book, read the book, read the book. See, you have ignorance to knowing. We just don't know enough. The only reason you don't have what you want right now, that frequency and vibration, and you don't know how to get it. What if we can show you how to get it? See, when I first started looking into this, I wanted to grow my goals. That's what attracted me to Bob. I did meet with Tony Robbins' team and studied a bit of there. But I got attracted to Bob because he says, tell me what you want and I'll help you get it. I'm like, really? How could a man in the open say that? It's probably still on his website right now. Tell me what you want and I'll help you get it. I said, so when at the end of the session we were talking, he goes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me what you want, we'll help you get it. And if you go to Think and Grow Rich, like Leslie's suggesting here, it says the same thing. You just have to want it bad enough. You have to become it. But how do you do that? You're missing some information. We're spending a lot of time in an uninspired life, in a lot of fear and doubt and indecision instead of the faith and study and knowledge and well-being and expression. All that is illustrated inside the material of Thinking into Results. That's the framework that I use. That's the high-performance framework that I use. And you start acting on the information. You start becoming the body. Now, Napoleon Hill, in his greatest work, in Think and Grow Rich, since that's what we have on the screen, said, he said, it all starts with the imagination. Where do these thoughts come from, right? Where do these thoughts come from? It all starts in the imagination. Right now, you're getting the same results again and again and again. If you look at the picture on the left, you get these results that you think about all the time. You think about your bills, you think about your conditions, and you keep impressing that on your subconscious, and you keep getting the same. You get into that feeling of, oh, I'm not feeling good. Oh, I got to pay the bills. All that non-inspired stuff. But if you look on the right, it says to do something different. Think of what do you really want. What's the new result that you want? Remember that question I asked you at the beginning? How much money do you want to earn? What do you really want? How frequently do you take a vacation? If you have a problem right now, what would you like that problem to go away to become what? Think of that new thing that you want, that new result that you want. You got to think about it. It doesn't matter if you're changing diapers. Think about what you want. It doesn't matter if you're doing the dishes. I have a lot of mompreneurs, by the way. So if you're a mom out there and you're listening, it doesn't matter. Some people think that you're not worthy because they're mom. No, you're the best. You're the one that actually makes the whole part of the creation work. You're more important than anybody else. So think about what you want all the time, not some of the time, all the time. And even though if you don't like it, just think about it and get emotionally involved with it. Now, why is this emotionally involved with it? What the heck is that about? You see, a lot of people, they don't get the manifestation to work for them because they're just repeating words. They're like the bird, the parrot, right? You go to many of the zoos and stuff, and you see these parrots. They just repeat the word, wah, wah, yeah, hi, my name is that, right? So you don't want to be just repeating words. You want to get emotionally involved with what you want. Tell me what you want, I'll help you get it. And when I heard that from Bob, I said, you know what? I want to meet the guy. I want to know what he knows. I want to know what he knows about the mind. I want to know how he can hold this image so long. I want to know why he is so intuitive. He actually wanted to walk on water. It's not about the new results. The new results will come anyways. But I want you to get involved emotionally with this thing that you want. It could be the relationship. It could be the car. It could be the job. It could be the feeling better. And as you get emotionally involved with it, this is the subconscious mind, this is the feeling mind, and that's why it's connected to the body. The subconscious mind drives the body. Okay. The subconscious mind drives the body. That's why it's called here. Subconscious mind is connected to the body. That's what drives the body. That's what puts the body in the vibration that you need. So if you're not feeling good, guess what? You are involved in the wrong idea. If you're not feeling good, you're involved in the wrong idea. You thought about it, it went to your emotional mind, and you start to become anxious, you start to become afraid, you start to become worried and doubtful, and guess what? Your body starts getting terrors and tremor and all kind of stuff. How do you control that? Who here would like to learn how to control your thoughts? I bet you do. I think all of us do. Who here would like to study this material with us? Who here would like to tap into 50, 60 years of knowledge that you can have? On my book, I said it's 150 years because it really started with Andrew Carnegie. He taught Napoleon Hill, who taught all of us this material. Your imagination is the workshop of the mind. I want you to start thinking big. I want you to start dreaming about some big things that, oh my God, like, yeah. I want you to think some big stuff. I want you to think some big, big stuff. Your thoughts become the idea of what do you really want. Now, I'm not going to go over all this presentation. There's a lot here to, but I want to talk a little bit about the imagination, a little bit more, because that's really where the magic is. That's where you can start getting that high performance life. I already went over more than what I want, but that's okay. So let's get out of the sharing. And I'm going to bring up the book, Think and Gor Rich, which is, I believe, is here. Yeah, it's here on my desk. And I'm glad we have Leslie here because Leslie is an expert on this, and she can probably, uh, teaches better than me. And I'm just so excited I met her here on LinkedIn. So thank you for listening. So let's look at the imagination chapter. I'm have it highlighted at page 118. What does Napoleon Hill say about the imagination? I just want to show you that if I can do this, you can do this. If I can put my goal on a goal card and it becomes real, you can do it too. The key, are you up for doing this? Are you up for betting on yourself? You see, you don't just read this book once because you're never going to get anything from it once. Let's see what he says about the imagination, the workshop of the mind. Okay. So here's what he said. I'm probably need my glasses because it's small. So here we go. So we're studying the imagination chapter. He said, now you are engaged in the task of trying to profit by nature's method. Wow. You are now engaged in the task of trying to profit by nature's method. You are sincerely and earnestly, we hope, trying to adapt yourself to nature's laws by endeavoring to convert desire into its physical or monetary equivalent. You can do it. It has been done before. Now, most people would read this and they just keep going. But when you study this with somebody like myself, who studied this with Bob for 61 years, Bob studied this, and it makes you think, what the hell is he talking about? This is Napoleon Hill. This was wrote back in, 37, 38, it came out. Nobody understands it. It's about money. It's about relationships. It's about health. What the heck? So when you start studying this, you are learning nature's laws. So this has to do with the laws of the universe. It has to do with the laws of laws. Convert desire into its physical equivalent or monetary equivalent. So I just have to have a thought. I got to think about it enough. I got to get emotionally engaged with it. If I have a desire, it has to happen. He's saying that's the law. Now, most of you won't believe that. You'll think this is crazy stuff. Well, it is crazy until it becomes real, until you put it on paper and start doing what you're told. You see, Bob Proctor, when he met Ray Stepp, right, he wasn't doing very well. You can see his picture of that. Beside him there, and that's you there, and then you're next. So Ray told Bob, my way is working, your way is not. Why don't you follow what I tell you? My way is working, your way is not. Why don't you follow what I'm telling you? I don't lie, and I know what I'm talking about. It's all in here. But you got to come to study it. Then he goes, you can build a fortune through the aid of the laws which are immutable. you can build a fortune through the aid of laws which are immutable. That means they're going to work for me and for you. So it starts to make sense. Why would Bob put on his website, tell me what you want, I help you get it? Because I can teach you the laws. And the laws have to work in your favor if you do the right thing. But first, what he said, you must become familiar with these laws and learn to use them. How do you become familiar? Study. What's my system is based on? The TIR framework. Study, elite level mentorship, and accountability. Wow. It's in here. It's not an accident that you're listening to this. And if this is resonating with you, I want to speak with you. But I only talk to committed people. I don't want to be interested people. There's a lot of interested people. Actually, 95% are interested. Everybody wants to be rich. Nobody wants to do anything about it. I only want to talk to the committed person who really wants to get to that next level, who really wants to build something, right? Only committed. Reach out. Now, through repetition and by approaching the description of these principles from every conceivable angle, the author hopes to reveal to you the secret through which every great fortune has been accumulated. Through repetition. Thank you, Leslie. That's what she said earlier. Constant space repetition over and over and over and over. That's how this young lady went from selling 1 unit a month to selling 4 or 5 a week. It doesn't matter how you're feeling. It doesn't matter that you're sick. It doesn't matter that you're not up for it. Do it anyways. It doesn't matter if you're changing the diaper of the kids. Do it anyways. Get in love with what you want to do. Get an inspired vision. But you're only going to do it if you really want it. You're only going to do it if you're inspired, if the desire is a burning desire. You see, we only desire what we want. We only do what we want to do. The reason this cup of coffee is here because I desired it and I made it happen. The reason that this mouse is here is because I wanted it. I desired it and then I paid the money, whatever it is, 130, 140 bucks, this little tiny thing. We get what we want after we desire it and we get emotionally engaged with it. Through repetition, I'm going to read it again, and approaching the description of these principles from every conceivable angle, the author hopes to reveal to you the secret through which every great fortune has been accumulated. Because everybody that reads the book says, well, what's the secret in the book? Can you tell me the secret? Because they want the shortcut. No, I can't tell you the secret. Come and study it. Every page has the secret. Thank you, Leslie. I'm going to read your statement right now. This is by Leslie Flowers. Make sure you connect with Leslie. I'm not sure if there's any comments somewhere else on YouTube or Facebook. I'm only reading the ones from LinkedIn. One must be ready, want it deeply, and be willing to invest time. Very few people experience this. That is correct. That is very correct. Thank you so much. So, strange and paradoxical as it may seem, the secret is not a secret. Earl Nightingale called it the strangest secret. It's nothing strange. It's not a secret. But 55% of retirees are broke. I want you to change the needle today. I want you to move the needle today by taking action on what you're listening to. Otherwise, you are just bullshitting yourself and you're not going to go anywhere. If you don't take action on this information, guess what? You're just collecting it up here and it doesn't do a thing. Stop collecting information. You don't need more information. You already have the genius inside of you. The genie is there. When I shared with you this little thing earlier, the stickman figure, let me go to it. Let me go to it. I don't know, where is it? It's not letting me share. So maybe if we can share it like that. Oh, the sharing is not happening. That stickman figure, that is the genie. And the genie is inside of you. And we're going to get it out so you can become that next version. Look at that. Strange and paradoxical as it may seem, the secret is not a secret. Thank you so much, Leslie. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I know you've been studying this for a long time, and I really admire your persistence and the work that you're doing out there, making people better. Nature herself advertises it in the earth on which we live, the stars, the planets suspended within our view, in the elements above and around us, in every blade of grass and every form of life within our vision. So he's telling you the secret. You just have to look around, but you're not going to see it. because you're not aware. You see, when you study and repeat some information, you become more aware. The reason you don't have what you want, the reason you don't have that big goal is because you're not aware how. How do you become more aware? You study. Elite level mentorship, accountability. That's the high performance coaching. That's what I'm doing right now. I want to inspire you to your greatness. I want to inspire you to take the action and stop being afraid. Look around. That's what he says here. How does the trees do it? Now, the trees and the animals, they don't have what you've got. You've got a whole more advantage, but you're not using it. I wasn't using it either. I had 5 degrees and I wasn't using it. That's how bad it was. But I got to tell you, once I got my second goal, I was like, oh man, this is not woohoo stuff. This stuff is real. This stuff is real. And that's when I started putting gas on the thing. That's when I started really getting serious to my coaching. That's when I started getting serious with my clients. That's when I started getting serious into my presence online. That's why I started getting serious into all these things. And that's how my clients are doing better because I'm doing better. Richie went on to do, I believe, 4 times his investment, his income. 4 times. Think about that. Like, when was the last time you actually doubled your income? Do you even know how that feels? Do you even know what that is like? Four times his income. Another lady by the name Lori, she 10 times her investment. All from this material that is right here. You've got the genie. The genie is inside of you, and we want to get it out. Let's check the time here. All right. 5 more minutes, and then we'll wrap up. Nature advertises the secret in the terms of biology, in the conversion of a tiny cell, so small that it may be lost, on the point of a pin, into the human being now reading this line. That's me. The conversion of desire into its physical equivalent is certainly no more miraculous. You see, the only reason people think there's miracles is because they don't understand. There's just ignorance. It's not a miracle. Who was it? I think I have the name of the guy here. There's no miracles. He said, there's somebody's name. I had it written here. It's not just a miracle. We just don't understand it. But it's not easy. It's not for everybody. But it is for somebody. It is for somebody. But then he said, do not become discouraged if you do not fully comprehend all that has been stated. Do not be discouraged. Unless you have long been a student of the mind, it's not to be expected that you will assimilate all that is in this chapter upon a first reading, but you will in some good progress. I gotta tell you, it's saying right in here, study, repetition, practice, show up, desire, fall in love with what you want to do. Fall in love with it. Let's see if we can share. It wasn't allowing me to share. So, all right. So I had a little thing to share with you, but it's not allowing me. So that's okay. The information is here. So we're going to continue this conversation. As a matter of fact, we talk about it all the time in my classes, in my private classes, in my group classes, in my morning. So if this inspired you, if this is something that you feel that the little nudge is, oh, no, I could really be better. I could really use another vacation. I could really use to earn some more money. I could really be inspired to go to my job and love what I do. I want to speak with you if you're committed. If you're on the fence and not sure, you can stay on YouTube University. That's fine. You're welcome to stay there because there's 95% of you right there out there. But if you're serious and you want to put some gas to the fire, let's go. I love this work too, Leslie. I love you. This is an incredible piece of work. There is so much more to give you because results don't just happen. We create our own results. It doesn't matter that the economy is sliding. You create your own economy. Okay, so the next week, I'm going to talk about energy. I'm going to talk about how this thought, how this ideas, how all this vibration and frequency become things. How did this pen become a thing? This is energy right here, but it's a pen. This is energy. Everything is energy, but how is that? So that's going to be next week's conversation on this topic. So I want to invite you to share the stream. I want to invite you to go back and listen to what I shared. I want you to become that best version of yourself. I want you to connect. If this resonated, come to my world and let's have fun with it. It's going to be an amazing year. This energy thing that we're going to talk about is just going to be phenomenal. Einstein said energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? It cannot be. It cannot be. It just transformed from one thing to the other. What if you learn to control the flow? What if you can learn to control the flow? Flow of what? Inspired life, flow of energy. See, people are waking up and they're tired. They're tired because they have no desire. How do you just wake up and you're tired? Because you're not inspired. There's nothing driving you. You're dead. You're not a tree. Move. You don't need to watch 10 hours of TV to get inspired, but that's what you are doing. You don't need to watch 6, 7 hours of football because that's what you're doing. You think that's going to make you feel better. That and plus a couple of trays of pizza and sweets and maybe fuel beverages. You think that's going to help you. That's just going to numb your brain. It's not for everybody, but it is for somebody. So if you want to become part of that 1%, if you want to become part of that executive elite that make it happen, I'm for you. I'm not for everybody, but I'm for somebody. So I want to invite you to come to my world. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it out right now. You're welcome to come and be with me for a week. A week. Imagine somebody holding your hand for a week. And I'm not going to say it's not going to cost you anything because it's going to cost you time, which is the most precious thing we ever have, time. You're going to have to show up. You show up and you spend a week with me, 1 hour a day, a week. And I bet you by the end of the week, you are going to be amazed of who you're going to be and how you're going to feel and how you're going to act and what's going to happen. People are going to say, what the hell are you on? What have you been doing? And won't cost you a thing. You just have to show up. So I'm going to drop the link right now. So if that's something that you want, you're going to get 1 whole week. We're doing this for now. We're not doing it forever, but we're doing it for now. And it's up to you. I cannot hold your hand to click the link and join. You're going to have to do that. Come on, spend a week. Bet on yourself. Fall in love with you all over again. And see what's it like, how the 1% live, how the 1% act, how the 1% think, how the 1% behave. You can start really creating your own economy. You can really start contributing to your dream and that burning desire that you want. You can really start figuring out why you're not losing the weight you want to lose or why you're not earning the money you want to earn. At least you're going to be enlightened. So if you're willing to bet on yourself, show up. Show up. That's 1 week free. Okay? 1 week free. For now. For now, it's free. And, if it's not for you, that's okay. It's probably for somebody else. Share it with somebody. But share it with somebody with love. Tell them to watch this. And you come with them. And bring a friend with you because we hang out together. Do you ever notice people who, the eagles, they fly with eagles, they don't fly with the crowd, they fly with the pigeons. So who are you hanging around? I'm going to leave you with that thought, right? Let's finish with that thought. You want to become the eagle? You want to become part of that 1%? Start hanging around the 1%. That's also came from Les Brown. So you can go to my profile on LinkedIn and you can see that from Les Brown. It's just phenomenal. Okay. Just really, truly phenomenal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just jazzed that I've had the chance to actually be with Les Brown for a little bit and probably more. So you can go to my website and you can see all kind of stuff, what people are saying. I want you to, this is my mentor here, by the way, as well. She, wrote the foreword of my book. There's another beautiful gentleman, Raymond Aaron. He's incredible. I'm a coach to the millionaire table. It's just incredible because, I put this in from, not just talk about it, I actually do it. Okay. So we get this testimonial and then we'll end. Thanks again. I hope this helped you. And,
hi, everyone.
become the
This is
better version.
Diane Wagner. I'm an insurance broker in California. I recently finished the thinking into results with Kamal. And although I have a very successful business here, I've had trouble finding balance in my life. So the course helped me to visualize what I wanted in my life, goal setting, using my intuition to a higher extent, and really visualizing the results that I wanted in my life. Kamal is a pleasure to work with. He's committed to helping you reach your goals. He is a man of integrity, vision, and is extremely knowledgeable. I would highly recommend that you work with Kamal and have him help you find the results that you're looking for, or if you're just getting started, it's an eye-opening book of Bob Proctor's results that have proven the test of time. And I highly recommend you reach out to Kamal and set up a one-on-one. He's a beautiful man, and I want everyone to know he's there and to reach out and work with him. Thank you so much, Kamal. You have made my life so much better than before, and love you with all my heart. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Reach out to Kamal and your life will change in a beautiful way. Thank you so much.
Oh, so good. Love that. She was an amazing client and she's doing so well. Her business is going to double, maybe in the 10 plus million dollars. So it's pretty cool. Go there, have fun on the side. But really, I want you to come and be with us. So don't delay, join. And I want to thank Leslie for the contribution today. I want to thank you. Proximity is power. Take it to the bank. Tell me what you want and I'll help you get it. High performance coach, Kamal. Cheers.